Warning, the following podcast episode contains spoilers of the most recent Living Story update. If you have not yet completed the Living Story content, proceed at your own risk. Alright guys, I'm going to take off this border. That didn't do it. Awesome. Doesn't matter. Whatever, it's staying. Anyway, we're going to be talking Dragon Reach Part 2, and we are all about the butts. Apparently, again. So, stay tuned. Oh, there we go. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to the 107th episode of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, a Guild Wars 2 podcast for fans, by fans. I will be your host. My name is Gw2. I'm joined by Alicardalina from the mouth up on the stream, anyway.
Hi.
There we go. Now you can get our whole face in there. So, thank you for coming out and watching us. We've been doing this for a while. We appreciate each and every person that comes and watches us live. If you listen on iTunes, which you won't, you'll be 3 episodes behind because I'm a slacker, and you want to watch us live, you should come to twitch.tv/Chronicles of Tyria every Thursday night, unless it's not, but typically it is, so at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So, Alu, how are you doing? Actually,
I'm doing a lot better.
How are you doing? Because that looks better on the screen. There we go.
I'm doing a lot better, so.
That's good.
As you know, I had the sore throat for the blood floor stuff.
Yeah. It's nice to have you on here. Nice to see you. It's good. And you finally finished the last living story, so we can actually talk about it.
Yes.
So again, heads up to you guys, if you didn't catch the warning at the beginning, and you have not completed Dragon's Reach Part 1, we will be spoiling the events of Dragon Reach Part 1, so look away. We give you a whole week and almost a week and a half, a little more than that, to complete the story, so we will be talking about it. You've been warned. Alright. So, I'll jump into the mailbag. Again, if you like this mailbag image, I'm gonna get tired of this eventually, but today is not that day. You can check out our good buddy Vasburg. It's www.vasburg.com. I believe the Twitter handle is @evasburg. The information will be in the description below. So, anyway, first up, the Let's Lore number 37.95. Mr. Songarg says, welcome to Lion's Arch COT. Sadly, you'll probably start to see a divide between people from Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 around here. By that I mean, most people I find in Guild Wars 1 hold a loathing hatred for Guild Wars 2, and love to diss it in public chat whenever they can. I didn't really pay too much attention, but have you? I'm sure you've noticed that.
Every once in a while, I mostly get the shard or the district where there's always that like one random scammer.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, don't go to him, and that's all I ever hear.
Well, I mean, that's at least there's still people are being good in the community, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah, I remember right after the launch of Guild Wars 2, and even after betas and stuff like that, because like the district, you'd go in Commandant and it would be no one when the beta was happening, and then the beta would end and there would be like 8 billion Commandant districts because people would just all jump over because they're like, no, how do I jump? I don't understand.
/ jump.
Yeah, I know. So, we haven't really encountered too much of that in our playing through. Then again, we were in Lion's Arch. Actually, we were in Lion's Arch for a whole episode. So,
looking at underwear.
Yeah, looking at underwear. Boxers with hearts on them. So yeah, thank you for welcoming us to Lion's Arch. But yeah, the 39th episode. This is a pretty good one. Which, in case you missed it, 37.95 is episode 38. I don't remember who said it, but that was
it was on.
Yeah, it needed to be more sciencey, so we made it episode 37.95. Klob said that the first part of this episode has solidified my belief that a drunk Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2 Let's Play would be amazing. I don't know what you're saying about us, sir.
It may as well be already.
Yeah, we're pretty close. And then again, Robovin follows up with, "Oh my, the voices, I'm dying." Let me tell you, if you like the silly, weird voices that we do when we do the Let's Play stuff, seriously, the 39th episode. Full stop. I don't know what happened, but we pulled out like everybody was voice acting. There was Riddick, there was 1920s Flapper guy. I imagine that was Casey with her green words with the darling. This 1920s Flapper. Son was doing voice. You were doing. Everybody was doing voices. So I would go check out the 39th episode. The voice acting is questionable, but questionably hilarious.
I went back and watched the episode, and I laughed my head off.
Yeah.
Like, again, because it's that good.
We have a lot of fun. And that's the most important thing with any game you play. Whether you do a Let's Play, whether you stream, whether you produce videos, or you're just playing the game yourself. I mean, I didn't want to get all preachy here, but seriously, enjoy the game, play it with fun people, have a good time. And you know what? If people hate on your videos or hate on your stream, don't pay attention to them. If you're laughing and your friends are laughing, who cares? It's a good time. You know what?
Exactly.
We do this on Mondays. Do you realize how much I love Mondays now? I hated Mondays. But now I know...
Okay, Garfield.
Yes, I know. It goes where I throw it and blah, blah, blah. Give me some lasagna. But, yeah, I get home from a shitty Monday at work, and I usually get a burrito, and then I come online and I talk to 4 absolutely lovely, hilarious ladies, and I question my life decisions at every episode. But that's okay. That's a different story. So yeah, if you guys like that, go ahead and check out our Let's Play stuff. We're coming up on, we hit 40, episode 40, I think that goes up tomorrow. Or no.
Yeah.
Maybe that went up today. Might have gone up today. Either way, we're approaching 50 episodes of our Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. And we're actually, and the good news is, again, if you haven't played Guild Wars 1 or have no desire to play Guild Wars 1, we have just entered Krita. So we are now in the Guild Wars 2 areas where you play as humans in Guild Wars 1. And we're getting progressively closer to where we are in Dry Top. I mean, we have a ways to go to get there, but we're at least in the somewhat same region of the world. I mean, Kratom, Aguma. But, I mean, we're closer than we were. So, but again, you will be. There's the Wizard's Tower, which again has moved a little bit, but we will be getting to that. That's one of the quests we just picked up. So there's that. So
we're gonna have a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, we're gonna. You're gonna have Alicardalina going, oh, did you know that this mountain right here is only is a little pebble over here in Guild Wars 2?
I'm going to do that.
She probably will.
I'll remember that.
Write that one down. So last week, Alicardalina was nice enough to join me mid-show on a whim, and we got a couple mails regarding that. Tori G, the resident wall expert, he did not give us a full-blown wall, but he said, the best part of this patch for me was the level of detail that went into the scavenger hunt for the back piece. It was very reminiscent of the Black Moa Chick mini-pet in Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 2 needs more of these scavenger hunts. They are fun, at least for me. They would be a great way to add things like merchants, craft stations, and other upgrades to your home instance through gameplay, opposed to through the gem store. I do feel that backpiece scavenger hunts is a small scale test for what they want to do with precursors, like how Tower of Nightmare was a test for what they could do with Lion's Arch. And I mean the whole backpiece, even the stuff we don't have for it yet, it will grow and change with the rest of Season 1, should still be a small scale compared to what they could do with precursors. Hey, at least it's permanent. I agree, yeah. I haven't actually done anything with it. Have you played around with that at all?
I went out and got the leyline infused and the glacial water, and that was pretty fun because you actually have to like go around and do things to get there.
Can you, in case anybody hasn't done that, can you explain what the process was for that?
For let's say the glacial water, you have to go get it purified, and so it shows you. If you click on it, it shows you where you need to go on the map for it. It just kind of gives you like this general vicinity of it, though.
Okay.
Turns out once you get to Frost Gorge, you need to go through the jumping puzzle and get to the very end before you can get the kind of glacial spike to purify the water.
Okay.
So, and that's kind of like how when you had the Moa egg, you had to go harden it underneath the waterfall in Cantha.
Okay.
It's like exactly like that.
Oh, okay. So, alright, so then it is very similar. I haven't actually played around with it too much. And I think part of it's because I don't really care about the back piece at this current stage. But maybe I should, just in case, like, there's this... When it evolves, maybe, like, you'll unlock multiple steps of it in your wardrobe. But I guess I could always just do it, because it's permanent, so I could always just go and do it. But that's just something I haven't played around with yet. But I like that, and I agree. Maybe it is. They've been talking... Precursor Scavenger Hunt was data mined almost a year ago, I think. And I think it had been talked about on the forums for even before it was data mined. And, like, this has been something, I feel like 6 months after the game came out, they've been chatting up, like, a way to get precursors reliably other than the trading post.
Yeah.
So, it would be... And I agree. The stuff that... It's smart the way they did that with the Tower of Nightmares, to have a permanently destroyed, altered map, and then use that as a way to figure out how they could do that for Lion's Arch if they're doing small-scale scavenger hunts. I would have actually preferred if skills were like this, rather than, like, go kill a boss type thing. Like, if you talk to a guy and you got a book, and you double-click the book and it told you to go somewhere, and that would unlock a trait, or a utility skill, even, would also be neat. Danger Gerlich 1 here in the chat says, will you guys go into Fissure of Woe or the Underworld? Yes. I'm gonna say yes, but it's gonna be a while. Like, we're not even max level. You know what? We'll probably take a break from wherever we are in the story in October and go do start probably beginning of October and go start doing Underworld, so that when Halloween rolls out, we can go do all of the Halloween-related quests that happen.
That sounds pretty cool.
In the Underworld, because there's a lot of good stuff in there. It's also, we can show off some of the ways, like, that's how a good way for you to get Survivor, Legendary Survivor, or whatever it is, the third tier of Survivor. just by capturing the skeletons. Are you familiar?
Not entirely. I haven't done too much in the underworld because I don't have a big group to play with.
Well, we've got 5, so we're gonna need 3 more at least to 10.
I know someone who's willing, but they don't want to talk.
That's fine. Just saying, we'll put it out there now. I think it's, I want to say it's 10 people for the underworld. We're gonna need more people. Any way you look at it. I got a buddy who'd probably be down if the timing works with his schedule. But, yeah, there's a bunch of different missions that are Halloween only, and there's one where you have to capture a bunch of skeletons, and, totally Danger Girl. Did not read that right.
I don't even remember how you read it.
I don't remember. Yep. Danger Girl. That's a great comic. I love Danger Girl. I totally didn't even make the connection. I hate to do whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep moving on before we get stuck up on names in the chat. But yeah, there's a mission where you have to basically capture a skeleton, and when you turn the skeleton, you get a ton of XP. So you can just capture a bunch of skeletons in your inventory, and then just turn it all in to get a ton of XP, and then just level, get yourself that way.
Nice.
But anyway, thank you, Guy, for calling me out being a jerk and mispronouncing a name. Seriously, I just went through all my comics, all the Danger Girl comics that I have, totally gone. Whatever. So yes, we will do Underworld at the very least in October. So, because we'll obviously be max level by then. Hopefully, we'll have a lot better gear by then, and be much more into the roles and get more acclimated to our classes by then. So
yeah.
We can.
Not that I need to talk about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Miss Elementalist forever. Yeah, Necro is not my strong suit, as many people have called out in the description. And I've actually paid closer attention to what my skills do. But, like, even the Necromancers that I did play, I didn't play this. I mean, I'm also very limited in my skill choice at this point. I'm trying to not really use tomes, even though I think I did at one point. So, whatever. We'll get there. Fissure of Woe, probably a little bit longer. Just because I know, I'm calling it out now. We're going to take a break and do Underworld so that you can see all the awesome Halloween stuff. Do all the Ghostbuster missions where you have to fight the different... Well, it's not Ghostbusters, but you have to fight the 4 Horsemen of Doom, and one of them's Zool, I believe, if memory serves. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
All right.
I know the above, like, the Mist quest thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. It's also an opportunity for you to see Doom, the Underworld anyway, at the very least. And if you're unfamiliar with Doom, you should be familiar with Doom. He was the original... I won't go too much into it, but he was the original God of Death before Krent. There's some pretty big lore bombs that happen in the personal story, depending on which path you take in Guild Wars 2. Let's move on, we got stuff to talk about. Alaska. Wish I could have caught this live. Lands right in the middle of my sleep schedule. Hakuna Matata, that was the last episode. And then just real quick to Zeb Johnson, who I tried to reply to last week on YouTube. No reply button for your comment. Don't know why. On my precursor video with the Mystic Forge stones, said, how does he access the Mystic Forge there? Meaning not at the Mystic Forge. I'm one of the lucky few who made a Mystic Forge conduit when Mystic Chests were a thing in Guild Wars 2. Way back in the beginning. And I never sold it. So a Mystic, they haven't done anything like this in a while. Well, they sort of did with the Zephyrite. But essentially, Mystic Chests, you could put a whole bunch of, like, Tier 1 mats to get them off the market. What's it called? Greenwood, copper, butter, whatever. You put them all in the Mystic Forge and it would spit out a Mystic Chest. And you would get stuff out of the chest. It could be a tonic, it could be... I forget. Tonics, there was a couple pieces of stuff, and if you got all these 4 pieces and you put them together, you can make a Mystic Forge node, which will let you access the Mystic Forge from anywhere one time. Or if you get the higher end versions, you could make the Mystic Forge conduit, which is an unlimited anywhere access to the Mystic Forge. And I made one, and I have it, and I'm never going to sell it.
Wasn't that during the rebuilding of Lion's Arch? The first time?
Maybe? No,
the
there's
Lion's Arch fountain thing?
No, I think it was before that.
I thought it was after the Karka attack because they were using all of the supplies to rebuild the areas.
Nope, that was a different thing that also lets you eat. This was like a weird thing before Halloween because it was just like a random thing. And I'm pissed because I could have bought more of them off the trading post for like 4 gold at that time. They're now worth like 400 gold. So I could have just bought them and held on to them, but I missed out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how. Mystic Forge Conduit. If you'd like one, you can look them up on the trading post, but good luck. They're not cheap. Alright, Miss Sawn is not here yet again to talk about this, but that's okay. Wednesday, as we have every Wednesday. That is I just linked our newest comic. We're back on track and not so meta, even though I forgot to change the description when I posted it, and it said we were going meta. We're back to the story here. So, I'll let you guys check that out, let us know what you think. There we go. Alright. So, I guess let's start with last week's patch. And we'll talk about that while I have you here and you've done it.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about last week's patch?
It was really fun having to go around, especially collecting all of the crown pieces.
Okay.
I thought that was really fun because it took you to a bunch of places where they would have been anyway. Like Serenity Temple, and they've added those new spectral flames or whatever that kind of explode on you.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what those were because I hadn't played the last one yet, but those are in Serenity Temple, and I didn't see them this time when I went to go collect the crown. But I got them last night while I was map completing.
Alright. Yeah.
I think that they're integrating a lot of the new, or a lot of the old into the new by making you complete the events that were already there.
Yeah, I at first it felt kind of shoehorned to me, and again, I feel like they should have done this. We sort of touched on this last week, but I feel like this is something they should have done from the get-go with the living story.
Yeah.
Force you to do existing events. That way, I mean, and again, it's almost like launch time events. Like, events are popping up all the time. Not like you're waiting for an event to happen and it might, like, take a long time to happen.
Yeah.
It's like this event ends and then it pretty much is almost instantly back up.
Yep. At least they give you enough time to actually go to the location that you're supposed to be. Like, it's like, you do the event, and then you go to the rocks, and you better get there soon to actually get the crown, because once he walks, like, back to his starting point, he's going to go off again.
Yeah. Glitches aside, which got fixed pretty early on, so that was good. Let's talk story, since we kind of talked about mechanics last time. So, you start off, you have to talk to the Pale Tree. That's basically the start of this thing. You have a discussion with her, and there's some other weird Sylvari there, like just a dude. He's not significant in any way prior, I don't believe. I forget his name. Starts with an M, I believe.
I don't remember him. He was like a nobody. So.
Oh yeah, he got dismissed pretty early. She's like, "Can you go find Naim and them?" The first one that starts with an N.
Nimani.
Yeah, that one. Can you go find her? And then she's like, "Okay, I got rid of him, so we can talk." And you're like, "Oh man, it's Mordremaw." And she's like, "Oh my goodness, Mordremaw. I thought that it was an elder dragon from when I heard that roar, but even the pale tree didn't know that it was a dragon. She just assumed. But she also knows that Mordramoth is name. Even though she didn't know it was a dragon, but she knew who Mordramoth was.
You don't have to know what made the, like... You can know that, like, a dragon made the sound and not know which one, because there's, like, 6 of them. Well, 5 now, but... And then you have their dragon champions, so...
Whatever,
like,
I will...
so this is the culprit this time.
I will agree to disagree, because we'll get into another long debate about this again. So, but when I come see you, you better look out, because I'm going to bring this back up. Unless it gets resolved by then I won't care. So... And then, like, Casimir's like, oh, Queen Jenna's in, so we're good. Alright, thanks, Casimir. See you later, we're not going to talk to you for the rest of the episode. Yep. And then Bram's like, you gotta go help me talk to my mom, because I'm afraid to talk to my mom. And I'm a little whiny baby. He's like, he really is, he really is, like, the least, in my mind, the least interesting character. Like... There's no way we'll be able to get all the races together to fight an Elder Dragon. Like, where have you been, bro? Like, we did this already. Like, we united the orders and we took down an Elder Dragon while you were off crying about how your mom doesn't love you.
He's not so bright.
Yeah.
I personally think that's rather amusing, so I'm prone to like him.
Okay.
But I think it's that sort of stupidity thing that is just like, oh, he's like a kid, except he's grown up and knows not to, like, scream in a restaurant.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. He's special. So then you head to Holbrack and you talk to him and Air, and she's like, new white bear will never talk to you, blah 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 blah. You need to prove yourself, and I'm gonna spend some quality time with my son. I'm very much paraphrasing here.
Yep.
And then you basically go own a bunch of face by yourself. No big deal. And then they're like, don't worry, we're here to help you. Oh, you did it all. Cool. And then they have like a sort of touching moment, kind of?
It's an awkward moment.
Yeah, and then you're like, alright, I'm gonna go help Rox, or Timey. Is it Rox or Timey?
Rox.
Next. I'm gonna go help Rox now. It's less weird. It's less weird there. And then it's like, oh, thank God you're here, boss. I can't talk to Ritlock alone. Will you come help me because I'm scared of talking to Ritlock alone? And I'm like, I'm starting to notice a trend here. People are afraid to talk to other people. It's like the opposite of Traherne. Will you please go talk to them for me? Will you please come help me talk to them because I'm afraid?
Well, with Timey, it was just kind of like, can you keep these people off my back? I don't want to talk to them ever.
And I like that so much better. She's definitely... And unfortunately, Marjorie isn't in this episode, and rightfully so, I understand. But Timey is pushing for second favorite because she is silly, and I like her. So anyway, you talk to Rox, and Ritlock's like, oh, I have a great idea. I've read all these texts because I'm a research cat, and I read all these things. I read ancient Orient tomes all about Sahothin and Magdair, and there's also a crown. Which I feel like that was never meant. I think like they just made that up for this patch, so you'd have stuff to go get.
Yeah. Also, I think it was probably Timey next because.
Yeah, because Ritlock's last. All right, so we're gonna jump backwards. So we talked about it. We'll come back. We'll go back to Ritlock. So Timey, like Alu said, the Arcane Council is there because you try to talk to Zoja, and Zoja sets up a Timey talks to Zoja, who sets up a meeting with the Arcane Council to try to get them on board. And this is a thing that a lot of people have contention with. Is this just like immersion breaking removal of Zoja because they can't get Felicia Day to do the voice acting because she's so busy? And I understand that she's busy. She's got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of big things are happening for her in her channel. But like, they got her as the voice actor 2 years ago when she wasn't as big, and now she's much bigger and prominent in like the interweb scene. So now, like, they have to like circumvent her. They're like, oh, Timey talked to Zoja, and Zoja set something up with Counselor Flunt, and that's why Zoja's not here. But, like, do you think they're just gonna keep doing this forever?
I don't think
around.
they will, but I mean, eventually they could probably get a different voice, even though that's going to hurt as well. But either one is going to be scrutinized.
Yeah, Danger Girl and Guy here are saying just get somebody else. The other theory I've heard is just kill Zoja.
Well, maybe they'll start doing that with everybody in Destiny's Edge.
I feel like you're picking on a specific member of Destiny's Edge that you would like to see offed.
Well, yes.
Perhaps a certain human guardian with an obsession with a queen.
And his hair.
And his hair. Yeah, well, it's just, you know, I feel like someone needs to die. I've said it before. I thought it was going to be Marjorie. I feel like, just for permanence sake, like, and that's like a weird thing to say, like, they need to kill somebody to make it feel more like you can die, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like the next Supernatural, the TV show, where, like, death is just the furthest thing from permanent, because everybody can just die and come back a million times. So...
We already have that with the ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. So I would love, if they killed somebody off, and it made sense, like, it didn't feel shoehorned in, like I'm shoehorning it in right now. But I feel like, yes, either replace Zoja's voice actor, get somebody else, or just get rid of her lore-wise, like, she's gone off to Cantha to study something, or like Alona, or whatever. She's left with the Zephyrite, if they can ever fly again. Like, just get her out of the story.
I have the perfect way to get Logan out of the story.
Oh?
Well, they're all going to that meeting, right?
Yeah.
His queen's going to be there. He's going to be there. His queen is there. So, you know, the leader will die or whatever, and someone goes after her and kills him instead because he jumped in the way.
Oh, man. That would be pretty great.
Dead Logan, yay!
Well, the other part of it is, another thing is, like, Troy Baker, who's the actor who plays Logan, he's a voice actor. Like, that's his deal, pretty much. Just like Steve Bloom is a voice actor. Felicia Day isn't a voice actress. She's done voiceover work for a few things, and then, like, she's a content creator and a producer and a publisher and a writer. You know what I mean? Like, they're VAs, that's, like, their thing. They voice act. So, like, that's the problem with her. That's like, I guess, when you grab, like, a celebrity to do, like, a voice acting thing. You have them for what you have them, and you're not gonna make, like, downloadable content for a game where you need celebrity voice actors to come back in, unless they have that much free time.
Yeah.
So, so anyway, Timey's like, you need to keep them distracted while I work on my machine. And, then Inquest just starts showing up, I believe. Right? This is so long ago, I should have just replayed it.
Yeah. I think it was something else, because we cleared the Inquest out.
Well, there was something you had to do, like, you weren't just talking to them when she was working on her machine.
Yeah, was it not, like, Mordrum or something?
It might have been Mordrum, yeah. So you're fighting stuff off, and they're like, oh my god, how long is this gonna take? Blah, 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 blah. So you keep the enemies at bay, and then Timey's like, I got my machine. It's gonna do this, it's gonna make Mordremoth not interested in the waypoints. It's gonna take 2 weeks. Funny, exactly 2 weeks since the release of the next Timey. You're clever. Way to fourth wall break it, ain't it? I like it. Or I might say a few weeks, and then it's just gonna be 2 weeks. And then Counselor Flunt's like, well, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna stay here and wait. And if I see results, then I'll come to your summit. And then you're like, okay, cool. You can stay here in the middle of nowhere where clearly enemies can show up. You small child. Goodbye. I'm gonna go help Rox now. Robo-Vin, yes, you're right. You had to go out with Scruffy and collect the various pieces for the machine. That's what it was. And then you had to have Scruffy follow along. And then jump back to Ritlock. Rox is like, I can't talk to him. You need to be there. And then he's like, Rox, you're awful. You need to be better at what you do. I'm gonna talk to our friend because he or she is so much better than you. Nice to see you again. I've been reading scrolls. Blah, 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 blah. Now we're back to where we were. So, yeah, he read these Orient texts. Like, apparently that's what he's been doing with his time. Just reading. Like, the rest of the world is fighting things off and dealing with conflict, and he's been, like, in the library doing research about his sword. And, like, the ghosts. And it is interesting that he completely leaves out, like, the whole King of Ascalon stuff in his theory.
Yeah.
And I feel like... Well, I'll get back to that in a sec. So he's like... Adalbern was given... Or... Humans were given 2 magical swords, Magdare and Sahothin. Sahothin, he has... Magdare... Air has, I guess?
Air. Yeah, has the parts that she was supposed to get fixed, but she's been lazy from what I can tell.
Yeah, you get... If you don't understand what we're talking about, that's the Ascalon Catacombs story dungeon. That's the whole point. She was going to give this... Air was going to get Magdare, the other flaming dragon sword, and bring it to... and give it to Logan, to try to reunite the 2 of them together. But they ended up making up when Logan saves Ritlock's life in Citadel of Flame. But yes, she's just hanging on to this other sword. So Ritlock says the curse, from the way I read it, he says Magdare makes it, Sahothin breaks it. That's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna break it, but I also need this crown, which was given to Adalbert, and it was broken into... Did they explain why it was broken into 4 pieces?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was, from what I got is that it was whole again, but when the crown was, needed to be hidden or something from the char, they broke it into pieces because it's harder to find.
Okay. And
then after a while, a char found it and was fumbling with it, and it was broken and lost everywhere or something.
Okay. Yeah, I remember doing it. I really should have just replayed it, but it didn't, like, resonate with me too much. So Ritlock says, I've got a piece of it. Here's a piece. It's drawn to the other pieces of the crown. Go bring all 4 pieces to me, and then we're gonna end this curse. So you run around, and again, this is the making you do other events to then find the pieces of the crown, scavenger hunt for 3 other pieces. You bring them all back, and he says, alright, let's do this. So you're going into Duke Baradin's tomb, and again, we talked about this before, the fact that Baradin is the rightful king of Ascalon, and that Adalbern is only king because he was a good leader in the Guild Wars, but Duke Baradin had actual blood of King Doric and was the rightful king of Ascalon. And I feel like they really could have put, like, just a line about that as to why you were at Duke Baradin's tomb. Like, yeah. Because they don't explain it. He's just there. He doesn't really say why we're going to go into Baradin's tomb with the sword. But, like, one little line that he could have just tossed in there would have made that whole thing, like, make that much more sense. And then, if he's like, oh, and he explains that, then that, like, is a shout out to Guild Wars 1 players. Guild Wars 1 players get excited, and lore fans get excited. And it's also a good way to try to bring Guild Wars 2 players to be like, oh, what is they talking about? Is that a thing? And then, like, have them look it up, and maybe you want to play Guild Wars 1. It's just good marketing. Yeah.
At the same time, he seemed to dance around, like, a lot of different things, as far as, like, how he was written. He seems very secretive in the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, hey, where did you get the sword? And of course he will never tell you where he got the sword.
Yeah, you actually... At least you were able to ask him that.
Yeah.
So, you go into the tomb, and you fight some ghosts, and it's like, we need to kill some ghosts with the sword to charge it. But then the ghosts take over Barradin's statue, like they did if you did if you played a Char character. That's the whole, like, tutorial mission for the Char.
Yeah.
And then it takes a little while, because if you don't figure out the mechanic that the Menders heal the statue, then it'll take quite a while. Like, I actually had it down to like a quarter of the health, and I didn't realize that the Menders were healing it, so like it was back up at half health before I figured that out.
Well, I figured it out like immediately.
Well, I'm Alu, and I'm so smart. I figure everything
I
out.
read things.
I don't read things. I just play. So we you finish that, and then Ritlock does his little deal that you see from. Oh, I should also point out that you're with Smodor, the Imperator, and Rox is there as well. And then he's like, "That's it, it's charged." And then he does the thing you see in the trailer. Ascalon, I free you from this curse. And then he cat jumps back, and it makes a hole in the ground, and the sword is floating. And then the big lore bomb that happens. The sword's gonna fall in the hole, and he jumps in after it.
Of course he does.
Which is a lore way to remove Steve Bloom as a voice actor for a little while. See? Arianette, you did it for him. Learn how to do that for Zoja. Just get Felicia Day to be like, I'm going away forever. And then just like animate that one scene. And then there you go. But yeah, that's a pretty big deal. He's in the mists, they said. And at least we know he can come back from it, but we don't know when.
Yeah.
And I feel like it'd be really bad if he comes back with this patch. Because it's not, like, it loses all of its gravity if he comes back 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
So, when do you think he's gonna come back?
I think later in this living story. Like a lot later towards the end of Season 2.
Okay.
I think that he'll come back around then.
I think... Because I think I heard ArenaNet said they're going to take, like, a mid-season break. Like, mid-living story, like, they're going to take, like, a pause mid-season, and then they're going to, you know, take a little break, and then probably do a balance patch, I would think, and then come back to the story. Did you hear anything about that?
I have not kept up with them too much lately.
Okay.
I hope they do that, and I don't hope they do that at the same time, because, you know, some balancing features and whatever and all of that would be really great. I do not want to hear the people complaining about when's the break going to be over.
Alright, I get that. I mean, you're gonna have that, no matter what.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ritlock needs to stay distanced for a little while. Maybe you bring him, if you do a break, maybe like that's the hook, like you bring him back, like right before the break, and then that's the end. So you have that cliffhanger, and then eventually, when it starts back up, he'll tell you where he was and what happened.
It turns out you can't get rid of the ghost after all.
Yeah, because that would break the mechanics of the game.
Yes.
Dogs are barking.
Maybe they're trying to figure out how to do like separate
instances
of the map, so that you can have like old Lion's Arch for your old story stuff.
Yeah, rather than
Lion's Arch for
Lion's Arch is a bustling city where apple carts and blah blah blah, and it's like decimated and there's nobody there. Thanks, Order of Whispers. You guys really need to get up to date on your intel. Yeah, really. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. Ritlock jumps in the hole. If you guys happen to have, I know I have one, and Alu just filmed one. So right now it's a 2-person reaction video of us reacting to Ritlock falling in the hole. Jumping in the hole, I should say.
Yeah. Pouncing the hole.
Pouncing, yeah. We're gonna eventually edit that and put that up. So if you guys listened to me when I said this last week, and you filmed a reaction video of yourself as you were playing that scene of the living story, get a hold of me and send me those videos, and I will make it in a compilation video. Right now, it's just gonna be me and Alu. Whatever. We don't need you guys.
It's gonna be me going. Okay. That's, yeah. Okay.
She's real animated when she plays, so you'll have to see that. It'll be fun. Alright, let's move on to the new stuff. So first, I guess I'll start off by putting up the trailer for next week's patch. So, I think that is this. There we go. Short video this time. So.
An ancient evil is awakening in the West. We must do everything to stop it. For there will be nowhere to hide when the shadow of the dragon envelops us.
So, Dragon's Reach Part 2. From what I gather, Timey's scared, because she's actually physically quaking. So that's something. And also the Pale Tree has lights. Like that you can just click. Like, some sneaky dragon minion is just stealthily running around and pulling all the click lights. And turning off.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, just turning off all the lights in the grove, because that's a thing that you can just do. Bioluminescence can be turned off, apparently.
Hey, we turned out the lights.
Yeah. So, and then there's like a crazy shot from above where something's coming in, and we're all assuming that the people standing around the Pale Tree are player characters, not anybody that we don't know. That's a group of 5 player characters. I think that's the assumption that's being made. What do you think?
We'll see.
Okay.
I think that they could also just be random NPCs as well.
Okay.
Like, because we know that there's going to be the whole gathering and whatnot. Of course, they're going to have like bodyguards and stuff, right?
Yeah, I didn't see Logan though.
He ran.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true. Alright, so that was what we got from that. There was a little bit of gem store stuff. What did you think? I was kind of disappointed by the stuff they put in the gem store, to be honest.
Another char backpack.
Yeah, it doesn't even look that different than the other ones.
Where's the sword?
Yeah, really. Belinda's sword would be amazing.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are waiting on that.
You can get the Tyrian Explorer's Knapsack, which is
doesn't sound great.
a self-style hair kit, a top hat helm, a Zephyrite color swatch green, 6 transmutation charges, 5 metabolic primers, and 5 utility primers. The utility primers are new, and that's currently the only way to get them, but I believe that through all the analysis that's been done, it's an awful deal to buy this.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make financial sense.
Yeah. They really need to stop jacking up the prices of everything, because I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's someone out there who is doing all the math of what it would take for someone to actually pay for these things. And if they are, then they're not doing a good job. I mean, I'm sure people are buying it, but if you look at the prices, if you're paying for, like, you know, basically a pack of one-use items and the top hat, it's just like, why? Why would you pay that much for that?
I agree. Did you see Speaking of paying for things, did you see what happened on the trading post the other day?
Are you talking about the precursor thing?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this. Somebody bought every single precursor for the legendary spear, the underwater legendary. They bought every single spear off the trading post, so there were 0. And then, like, a precursor that was like 20 gold because nobody cared because it's the spear. There was one precursor up for like 800 gold.
Yeah.
Because they power bought them all.
Well, did you hear my joke in guild chat about that?
I think I missed that.
Oh, I was just like, now the gold selling bots are going to start including precursors with every order over a certain amount.
Yeah, right? Oh, that'd be funny. And it's probably only a matter of time.
Yeah.
You know, I've gone to just to see what those websites, they really don't offer that much of a better deal than ArenaNet offers you to take your real world money to buy gems to convert it into gold.
Yeah.
Like, I did a comparison, and they're better by a little bit, but as the community continues to drive up the trading ratio of gems to gold, it's almost not even worth it. I mean, it's not worth it no matter what, because you can get banned for it. But, like, the financial savings that you make from doing one to the other is almost negligible, and you're risking getting your account banned.
Not only that, you're risking getting your account stolen.
That's also true. Yeah, so it just... Don't buy gold.
Don't do it.
The other thing, it ends on Monday. Double Black Lion claim ticket chances. I feel like this should have come along with a new thing that comes in the Black Lion trading post. So just so you guys know, that means there's double the chance for you to get Black Lion tickets and Black Lion ticket scraps. For those of you who watched me do the stream about opening 115 or whatever I opened, Black Lion chests, I got 38 ticket scraps in like 100 keys or something like that.
That's a lot.
And it would be double. So arguably I would have had over 6 total tickets if I had done a mass purchase, which makes me think, and you heard it here first, and I'm not sure, but makes me think that we're going to get a new Black Lion skin on Tuesday. And this is like in anticipation of a new skin set coming out. So it might be worth it to get some extra tickets. If anything, sometimes they do every so often they do like a sale. It's also coming up to be the second anniversary of the game at the end of August. So they may possibly do like oh my god, anniversary, everything in the Black Lion is all one ticket now.
We'll be at Dragon Con.
Yeah, I know. That'll be the worst. Well, no, the 25th is the anniversary of it's the anniversary of the Head Start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
28th is the actual anniversary.
Yeah, we'll be at Dragon Con. Well, we'll figure it out. I'll bring my laptop.
Yep,
we're doing the podcast from my hotel room anyway. So
yep.
Be double live, same room. So yeah. So through this deal lasts until now through August 11th. Black Lion has double chances. Okay, ready for this? Because it doesn't even they contradict themselves in their own article.
Oh,
and tell me if you get this. Now through August 11th, every Black Lion chest has double the normal chances to drop a Black Lion ticket or Black Lion ticket scraps. Scraps can be converted into claim tickets, which are used to purchase our exclusive weapon skins from Black Lion weapon specialists. Act quickly. This deal only lasts until the release on August 12th. Keys are available in the Black Lion Trading Company gem store. So at the top it says now through August 11th, and at the end it says it lasts until the release on August 12th. So...
Well, if you think about how they do their server days, too.
I guess.
It could be backwards one day, you know?
Yeah, well, either way, through Monday, worry about through Monday. double chances for your tickets. I'm gonna call it now and say there's gonna be a new skin line coming out. Eventually it'll be like the Dragon Shadow weapon skins, because we had like the ley line earlier when we did that. Then that happened. So this is gonna be like the Mordrim Dragon skin weapon skins. Skins. So
weapon skins.
Exactly. The last other little bit of news is the Ready Up episode number 19 should be going up tomorrow. You can see the other previous episodes on ArenaNet's Twitch channel or their Guild Wars channel, along with all their Point of Interest podcasts as well. I guess I should also point out, for those of you that super love the music that I used to do at the start of the show, we basically had to stop doing that because of Twitch's updates, where now they have this feature where they have an audio bot. So like if you're doing, which I don't know how this is going to work, so let's say you're doing like a Let's Play or something, and it has licensed music in the background, the audio bot listens for the licensed music and then mutes the video so that you don't have that licensed music playing anymore. It doesn't, turns out it doesn't actually affect the live broadcast, but if you archive your videos and save them on your Twitch channel and then upload those to YouTube, your YouTube videos and your Twitch archive videos will just be muted during the licensed music. So, which is funny because earlier today Twitch muted one of their own videos, like a twitch.tv video.
Nice.
They muted it themselves because their audio bot muted their own video. Now,
Nice.
Because I recognize licensed music as a thing, when I upload to YouTube, I clip out the licensed music at the beginning. So that's not included. And I guess it probably would work okay for the live stream, since it doesn't block it when it's happening live. So we'll have to see. But a lot of people are up in arms about this, but Twitch is owned by Google now, and Google is slowly being a jerk. Like when Google bought YouTube, now all the comment systems on YouTube are done through Google+, and it's a pain in the ass to find any of your comments. And now they bought Twitch, so now Twitch is probably going to have comments through Google+, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, do your Twitch Google Hangout to play your games, yeah! I don't know. So, that may come back if I can get it to logistically work. If not, it's just going to have to be cold intros, and no music. Which is unfortunate, because I know some people really liked it. So.
Yeah, I liked it.
Well, you only liked it because every time you logged on, it just happened to be Castlevania music that was playing.
Who wouldn't like that?
A bunch of lame people. That's who. Alright guys, we are pretty much coming up to the end. The last little bit here is our craft corner, which Carolina found this for me, which is this super awesome Jorah cosplay by Illyne, ILLYNE on DeviantArt. We'll link her DeviantArt in our description. But it's a pretty badass Jorah cosplay, and she makes a pretty good Jorah.
Yeah, she has a face for it.
Yeah.
I love all of the. If you look closely, you can see all of like the dings and everything she put into the armor and the weathering she put on it. It's really nice.
The sword too. You can see the scratches up and down the blade and things like that.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Although I don't know why, but I get the feeling that she's very short, and I feel like that sort of ruins the immersion of a Norn. But either way, I like it. She's pretty good.
Yeah. Just don't see her in real life if you're worried about immersion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just the feeling that I get. So, I think that from what I heard, it was a legitimate buyout. I'm
going to read that as Moo Cow.
Oh, maybe it is with the double V. I give up on names tonight. I'm just not with it today, folks. I'm pretty sure the Twitch Google buyout was official. I didn't think, I thought it was official. Did you hear anything about it?
Yeah, I haven't looked into it.
Okay, you're right. It was still rumored. I'm sorry. But that's my guess, is that it has to do with it. You were right, Mukau. Proud of you. So yeah, my guess is that, if anything, that was like to lead up to them being bought out by Google. Especially because of all the crackdowns YouTube has had on people's videos. It only makes sense to start that off. And it goes retroactive too, from what I hear, where the Twitch bot's gonna go back and grab all your old broadcasts and mute them too, not just things going forward. So, anyway, that's pretty much it for us here, guys. Did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, not really.
Okay. Totally skipped over shoutouts at the beginning of the episode.
Well, I can give a shout out.
Yeah?
Well, I give a shout out to Robo, who gave me an awesome chickenado that I've been confusing people with.
Okay. I'm gonna give a shout out to Al Carolina for yelling at me to do my cosplay. So
Go do your cosplay.
Yeah, I know. Look, I put duct tape on it. Some duct tape. To ensure stability, so if my wife spins it around, I don't lose my mind. That was.
It's so that if you hold it, that you don't get knocked over.
Yeah. Exactly. All about the stability. And I bought. Hey, look, here's some more fittings because I came up with a new design. So I actually have to disassemble some of it, but I got resin in the mail today. So we're gonna be casting resin today. Well, Mukau, I'm glad that you got to watch us live. We do this just about every Thursday. And I will be updating iTunes. We've got 107 episodes of us to listen to. That's at least 107 hours of Chronicles of Tyria, which is probably a lot more than that, because our old episodes were 2 to 3 hours long. So, we like you listening. So,
yes.
keep on keeping on. So anyway, for the 107th episode of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, I'm Lagwin.
I'm Alu, all about the butts, Carolina.
She said it. Wait, you got to see her face say it. You got to see the smile as she said it. And we will see you next time.
Bye.